Right, you're doing the spark plugs. Right, so we're going to put these new spark plugs in the Impreza to cure the misfire problem. Now, what we've done is this car's been remapped and we've found it's got a bit of a misfire on it. We've changed a few things. Fuel pump, we're going to change the fuel filter later, but for now we're going to put the plugs in it. But before we put the plugs in, I'm going to gap them up. So what that basically means is, you see this gap here between the, I don't even know what the right term is, but I call it the pin and the end. So it's like the electrode and the whatever. So basically what you have is when this sparks, a little spark jumps across those two bits there. So that little gap there is where the spark jumps across and explodes the fuel. That lights the fuel, causes the bang. Now, if that gap's a bit too big and you've got a weak spark plug, when the turbo kicks in and you've got a lot of boost pressure, what it can do is effectively blow that spark out. So it blows the spark out, the fuel doesn't ignite, and that's when you get that misfire or hesitation. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this is the right gap setting, which we want is 0.6. These are 7s, which is supposed to be from the manufacturer set at a 0.7 mil gap. We want to set it at a 0.6, which is going to be a bit better for the boost pressure that we're running. And it looks like this is already quite a big gap on these old plugs, which might be part of the problem we had with the misfire. Right, okay, right, so these are the feeler blades or feeler gauges that give us the right setting for what we want for our gap. So we've got 0.5, 0.6, so that's the one we want. So we want to make sure that that gap there is 0.6, so you can see it's just slightly too big because it's set at 7. When I do that, 7's the right gap for me. We just want to make them a tiny bit smaller on there. So best way to narrow that gap is you can either give it a little tap with a hammer, or you just can tap it down like that and just keep checking. Do me a favour, Seb, just get me a hammer out with the bottom of the toolbox. Blue toolbox, bottom drawer, blue toolbox, bottom drawer. Yeah, the biggest one there is. Is that the biggest one there is? It isn't. The one with the biggest head. That'll do. Yeah, go on. Which? That's a rubber mallet. No, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Bring that over. Right. So I'm going to use this now just to tap this on and close this gap up. It's not the best way of doing it, but it's an old-fashioned method I use. Works okay. Just give it a tap like that. There we go. We've got a nice 6 mil gap there. We'll do the other 3 and then we'll get these back in. Can I have a go? Yeah. You see that one's got a massive gap, so you just do what I did. Sure. That's it. Oh, not too much. I don't think you've closed that right up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a bit too much, but we'll just open that back up.
And then?
If you need to open these back up, do me a favour, will you get me off pliers, please?
Alright.
They'll be in the blue toolbox. The second drawer down. Pliers with the red handles. Yeah, they'll do. So if you do overdo it, don't worry, you can get a pair of pliers and you can just pull the gap back open slightly. Not someone overexcited like Seth, that is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect 0.6 gap. So we've done those 2. Right, we'll get the other 2 done and then we'll get it put back together.